Hello and welcome to Show and Tell, the 3D Hangouts edition. We try to do the show every Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. We're going to check in with all the folks from the community. If you'd like to join us, you can hit up discord.gg/Adafruit. And we can join the live broadcast channel, and that's where we're hanging out. And we tend to paste the link to StreamYard so you folks can come in and join us. I did it so much better this week. We're going to jump in and hang out with Liz Clark, who's hanging out. Hello, Liz. Good morning.
Hello. How's it going?
It's going all right. It's raining.
Good.
We're going to be careful here because there might be a hurricane coming.
No, it's
Okay.
hitting more north, so like South Carolina and Virginia.
Something's getting hit. It is raining outside. But let's see what you're working on. I'm going to full screen.
So on my table behind me is the finished Bluetooth MIDI robot xylophone. So the guide is in final review right now, so it should probably be up by this afternoon. And so I've got a little demo right now where I have Reason going, and so it's going to be sending some MIDI data to the xylophone. So you'll hear synths from Reason playing along with the xylophone. So let me just cue it up. Okay. Yeah. So
Yay.
a little demo.
Excellent. It works.
Yes.
Amazing. It's flying over the air. And
Yes, yeah, because it's all the way back there and just using power, and so not running cables all over my apartment, which is nice.
Wow, freaking cool.
Excellent.
So this is using the MIDI BLE.
Yes.
MIDI BLE library.
Yeah, on the
hardware.
Itsy Bitsy NRF 52840, and that's all the Itsy Bitsy has is power, and then I2C to some multiplexers to be able to send the signal out to the solenoids with some drivers. So really minimal pins being used with the Itsy Bitsy, which is extra cool, I think.
Yeah.
That is so amazing.
When folks, normally I see folks asking about the solenoids. There's something a little special about these solenoids.
Oh yes, they only they only need 5 volts. So a lot of people I think have looked at what I've been doing and they think that I'm gonna like blow something up, but it's only using 5 volts, and they're on for like it's literally 0.01 seconds, because the way that the code works is when a note on message is received. So if you press a key on a keyboard or something, it will trigger the solenoid to hit and instantly release. Because if it was just hitting down, then you're pulling current that whole time. But because it's just hitting and releasing, it's only pulling current during that time. So it makes it so that it's really low power.
Excellent. Yay! And you have how many solenoids?
30.
30 full-blown solenoids. Well, they're not full-blown. They're mini, and they're cute.
Yeah, they're mini, tiny little guys.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see what other normally common questions you get. Obviously, we know it's a glockenspiel. We get it, folks. We get it. But
Yeah.
xylophone sounds cooler.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that's not a xylophone, that's a glockenspiel. But actually, technically, it's not even a glockenspiel, it's a bell kit. If you want to get real technical about it, yeah.
Actually, there's layers of actually is going on here, folks.
Yes.
30 layers of them.
Yeah, but xylophone sounds better. I like saying it more.
Yeah. I was kind of joking, and I was like, look, go to Google Trends and do a search for glockenspiel or xylophone, and guess what people are searching for? Xylophone.
Yeah.
I don't know if that does anything, but there's something there that if you're looking for searchability, you might want to go with xylophone.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think just more people, I think, know the word xylophone than glockenspiel, like just in conversation. So
yeah, like your ABCs, the ABC books. It's always at the
it's always the X's.
It's always X. It's always X-ray or xylophone,
Yep.
or an X-ray of a xylophone.
Yeah.
Well, that is so cool. I love seeing your progress. And
thank you, and thank you for the mount design.
Of course, it's super fun to work on 2020 extrusion stuff.
Yes.
So, folks will hopefully check that out.
And another shout out is all CircuitPython, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. All CircuitPython. And actually, it doesn't take a lot of lines of code either. It's probably some of the shortest code I've written recently. So that was also great.
Wow, that is so cool.
So
All right. Well, we'll hopefully see some more demos later tonight at
Yes,
7
definitely.
p.m.
awesome.
Oh no, somebody jumped in and jumped back out.
Oh no, how you doing?
Okay.
back.
Well,
Like Landos.
cool. All right. Well, we're gonna share the work in progress stuff that me and Paige are working on. So
Thank you so much.
cool.
Liz.
Yeah, we'll
Thank
check
you.
in with you later.
Cool.
All right.
Bye.
All righty. So how am I gonna do this, Pedro? You talk about it, and I'm gonna switch the camera.
Yeah, so I guess it's the prototype section of the show. This is very cool matrix code that our very own Jeff Epler has been working on. He showed this a couple of times, I think like a month ago, and it was a library that he wrote specifically to be able to handle the matrices with this, and then it was added as part of CircuitPython. I think it's 504, one of the latest bundles has this included, and it's a nice little
It's like a
It's like a
coin
slot
slot
machine,
machine.
yeah.
So this is some demo code. It's using the new Proto Matter library for CircuitPython. So this is
Yes.
all done in CircuitPython. So using RGB LED matrices with CircuitPython is a fairly new thing. It's a part of the 5.3 beta of CircuitPython, so folks can try it out and download it now. So what's cool about this is this is actually the graphics are actually a bitmap. So it's using a display I/O to create some tiles and some grids to make the graphics. So it's cool that it's all done in one bitmap, and there's also display text support, so you can have scrolling text with rainbows and such, which is really cool. So what we're hoping to work on is some 3D printed bits to make a coin slot, not a coin slot, a slot machine.
Yeah, so we're
With a full
frame.
handle and everything to kind of pull it and spring it back and to kind of actuate it. So the code is already published, and it's actually been updated. So hopefully it works on everybody's setup. So definitely check it out. And if you guys find any issues or anything, you're free to make an issue in the GitHub because it's out there.
Yeah, we had to do it with this one. This is the 64 by 32 matrix, and there was just some updates that Jeff had to do to it. We're trying out again the black acrylic. It's like labeled as black LED acrylic.
Correct. Yeah, from Tap Plastics.
Yeah, so what's cool about this is when it's off, it just looks like it's black, but as soon as light turns on, you can see right through it. I'm playing with the distance, so you can get a nice diffused look on it while still maintaining the pixelated look of all of the nice little, the way it looks like on a matrix.
Yeah.
So it'll have a nice little slot in part, which side is it?
Good
Here it is, yeah. We're still working on the tolerances on that. So it'll slide right in through there, and waiting on the order from Tap Plastics. We are gonna start stocking these, but of course with everything going on, it will be delayed by a little bit, hopefully not too long.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. This isn't like your run-of-the-mill acrylic that's like frosted. It really does have some special material science going on that I don't quite understand, because how is it not transparent? Like normally the smoky stuff has some transparency to it. It's only light that's able to kind of shine through, and it really does a great job knocking the blacks away so that all you're focusing on is this really sharp and vivid graphic. That's really cool. And as you said, as you go further, you can kind of blur it out a little bit, which is super cool. So this frame is 3D printed, and it has like a bit of a taper, and you said it has this little slot here so that you can insert eventually the full size of it. I made these feet here just to kind of prop it upright, and they have these little tabs. They're M3 screws, like the frame here, this plastic here, it all comes with it, and they actually have heat set inserts that are M3 size. So any M3 hardware will fit just fine, like these little screws here. This is just like a little bit that I printed out. It's always, it actually works for wiring management. It's always nice to print out a little test that's really thin and doesn't, it literally prints in 4 minutes. So it's a great way to test your mounting holes, just to make something thin and thin. Double thin.
Yeah, I really like these little thumb screws that are included with it. So if you want to actually have this hanging from like a metal structure, these are little magnets too, and they're quite powerful. So these are included with the kit, as well as all the wiring required to hook this up. We're running a Feather, what is it, M4?
Yeah.
On top of one of the little Matrix wings on here. So you're able to just plug that right into the slots on the back of these matrices. So you don't need any complicated wiring going out to somewhere else. You can have this all nicely contained, except for probably the, what was it, 5-volt, 4-amp?
Yeah,
power
5-volt.
supply.
Yeah, and we have that linked in Jeffler's guide, which is great. You should check it out.
Yeah.
Another thing that if you don't have this plugged in and you're just powering USB, look what happens.
Oh, yeah. Just to show.
Glitch. Yeah. We were a little bit unsure why this was happening, and thankfully Jeff was like, yep, needs more power. We're like, okay, cool. And it tends to work out well. So put the power in there, and there you go.
Yeah.
You could you do this? I think if you take out the USB cable, it'll still power it. You just won't have your serial monitor because it's no longer plugged into my computer. So you can still power it just off that, the 2.1 barrel.
Yeah, so one of the inspirations for building the handle,
Right,
spring back, is this really awesome little test piece from Sunshine. Made a nice spring open box. So it has a little built-in spring inside here that's just connected to the rest of the part here. And that does an excellent job of being able to spring back a little handle thing. So imagine it being like that on the side. It'll like actuate, I don't know, like a button or something down there.
Sure.
So it'll activate the what is it, the slot thing to activate.
Right. I don't know what you call that. The scrambles.
Yeah. So to be mounted some way to the frame or to the actual mount on the back, and you can have that spring back and forth as it actuates.
Really interesting print and place mechanism. I haven't seen this before, where the spring is in the gear. Like the spring and the gear is one and the same. It's pretty interesting. I haven't seen
a really good way to do that.
Very cool. And it's printed in place as well, which is like bananas.
Yeah, there is a bit of overhang. On
a bit of an overhang?
Yeah, there's a lot of overhang.
But somehow it managed.
Works.
Yeah. And this isn't even the best filament. It's like some cheapo filament.
Yeah, this is definitely made for just like statues, not for like printed parts. But it did a really good job of printing out.
Oh, cool. This user here in YouTube said, you printed the box 2 days ago. Yeah, it's on Thingiverse. And did we do a time lapse on it?
Not yet.
Okay. You're printing. We're testing it first.
Yeah.
Excellent.
There's like a little bit of a queue of a bunch of things that have been printed out. So we're trying to sort through all those. But yeah, this is an excellent way to do print in place spring. There was another one where somebody made like a boat, and they're using like the same mechanism.
Really?
The spring is
so cool. Winds up.
Winds
up. And it has some ratchety effects.
Yeah.
And stuff.
So cool.
Well, that is super cool, Pedro. Thank you for sharing.
The prototyping stuff. Moving on to the community make stuff. This week's Time Lapse Tuesday was, you found this one. It's an NES Switch cartridge holder. So pop that out.
A little 2-piece setup. It prints with a little bit of supports, but it's fine. I really dig this filament. It is. It has these little black speckles in it, and they call it marble filament. You might have seen this around, and we got our hands on some of this filament. It's available on Amazon. A couple of different manufacturers make it, but if you just search for marble PLA, is that what you would search for? Yeah.
This one is from Soltech,
3D Solutech, I believe. Yeah. So it printed out with no edits to the tolerances. It just press fits in there, which is really nice. It can hold up to what, 6 times 2, 12. So you can hold 12 cards. What are they called?
I just call them SD cards.
Yeah.
But an excellent little way to keep all of your little Switch games organized in a retro.
Yeah.
What I wanted to do was print out like a label or something like that, but ran out of time.
Right.
Next little guy. You do need supports for the bottom parts here.
Same thing with the underside of the actual
holder
bit.
Show that. There's a ton of support on that.
There you go.
For that bottom part there. Probably should have printed it that way.
No, because then these guys would get all that. That would mess with the tolerances. Yeah.
Excellent little storage.
Shout out to Purple Flying Cow on Thingiverse.
Yeah.
Excellent name as well.
This is actually a remix of his previous design where it had a hinge on the side and opened up like a book. Yeah, I think this is a really good
Yeah.
update to that.
Yeah, Purple Flying Cow said that the kids it wasn't strong enough for the kids, so we had to make it. That's great.
Cool.
I guess we'll put the links in the description of the YouTubes.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's already published on the Adafruit channel as well. Cool. I think that's it for the show and tell.
And then one last thing, just a little quick unboxing of the Raspberry Pi camera, that new module that came out. There's the camera right there. So
Turn on a camera.
this is the first time opening it up. See what's inside here. Oh,
On a camera.
no bag. Just
Oh,
plain.
no bag. Were you expecting a bag?
Oh, look, you got little parts in here. So this works with C-mount lenses. Oh, okay,
Is that a screwdriver?
yeah.
Cool. That's very cute.
And you have the ribbon already on there. So like I was saying, it is a C-mount lens. We'll be testing this out. Lamar requested a nice little camera body to add to this.
Yeah, so we'll
testing
make
these
something
out.
cool.
Super
I have
cool.
a feeling
Wow.
we're gonna collab with Liz on
yeah.
making a camera.
Awesome. Yeah, got a little
Get the,
tripod mount in there. And I don't know what any of these specs are. So
Yeah.
go for you. 12.3 megapixel. What is this? I got I think a 35 millimeter lens, which I don't remember from who. But we'll be testing this out. Hopefully we'll be able to get some really good images.
Is that a
We'll get up
tripod
to-
screw? Right there?
Yeah.
Excellent. It's already there. Excellent.
Yeah,
Okay.
so make a very good octolapse camera or time-lapse camera for outside.
That'd
like
be cool.
some
I
of
think do
the
some astrophotography, following the moon or something.
Yeah, I didn't get a telephoto, but
Okay.
we can get one of those to test out how the quality is on those. I've only seen a couple of posts on people actually posting the image quality from that.
Sure.
It's kind of strange that you would release a camera
With any
module
photos?
and not show any
Yeah.
pictures of it. So it'll be exciting to see what that looks like.
Cool. All right. I think we reached it.
Reach the end of the show. Yeah, we've got about 10 minutes left.
Okay.
I think it's time for lunch.
Yeah. That's not my stomach. That was lightning, which is very, very frightening. All right, folks. Well, there you have it. Again, if you'd like to join us next week, we're doing it as well. So we post the StreamYard link in the Discord channel, the live broadcast channel.
And if you could remember that it will be a hour-long show and tell. I think John Park's going to be hosting it this afternoon, so that's right. Stop by
This evening.
this evening.
Yeah.
Afternoon. Cool stuff.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. But until then, remember to make a good day.
See you next week.
Bye, folks. And broadcast.